welcome to another tutorial. So in this one we are going to break down one of the best songs of the last year 2022, that is Blue by David Guetta. It is an amazing song with an amazing arrangement, an EDM song. So let's start. We'll start with the piano part. Right. So piano part goes like this. The whole song is on G minor scale, so the chords are G minor, F and D sharp. So let me open the piano roll for you. Let me zoom in a little. So these are all the notes. These are arpeggios related to G minor, F and some notes of D sharp as well. So the first note is A sharp 3, the third octave, A sharp 3 and then D. The next note is A sharp 3 and then after that is C4, then A3, then F3, and at the end of the bar we have A sharp 3. So again, this will be played on 8 notes, that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the last note, which is the and of 4, is extended until the 1 of next bar. So as I have explained you in the previous videos, if you haven't watched the previous videos, you can check them here. The link is above. It will go like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the first part, that is from 3 to 4. So the first part, which is from 3 to 4, will go like this. Yeah, and then in the next part, the next bar, the beat will start on the and of 1. So it is and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So in this one we don't have any beat on 1, we have the beat on and, then 2, then and, then the third beat is a quarter note and the fourth beat is also 8th note, that is 4 and. So it will be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This way the thing will come. Let me show you the notes. So the notes used are G3, A sharp 3, D4, D sharp 4, D4 and C4 at the end. So the last part of the piano is a little different. That is, you can listen to it first. So the notes change here. The first 4 notes are same. The additions are that the next note goes to A3, then G3, then F3 and then G3, and on the 2 of the next bar, that is 10th bar, again the repetition of 2 notes, that is F3 8th note and a quarter note of G on 2 and. It will sound like this. So I have used Bossendorfer grand piano from Logic for this one, and I have done some addition, that is addition of reverb. This is the setting of the first reverb, that is 1.3 seconds diffuse hall that I have used, and I have sent the signals to the bus so that I can add the effects in the bus, and eventually I can dial in the amount of effect that I want in the song. So the bus 3 has minus 4.1 dB signal. There is bus 2 which has another reverb which is 3.9 seconds Prince Hall 1. You can see the settings here, and this one also I have dialed in minus 7.6 dBs, and then the last one is a delay that I have added. So I will just show you the settings of the delay. So the rate should be 1/8, and these are all the other settings, and I have added a compressor here with 2 dB makeup gain for the texture, and then I have dialed minus 10.4 dBs of the same for the effect that was there in the original song. So if you listen to it, so there you can hear the delay. So after all of this you get this tone. Okay, let me tell you some things about buses. So buses are basically when you send some of the signal to another aux track in which you can apply a different signal and you can dial in the effects. For example, if I want, I can create a new bus here that is maybe bus number 19, and then on the right side you can see that bus has appeared. So you can put anything here. For example, if I want a compressor here, I have added the compressor, any settings that you want from here, and then ultimately you can dial in the same from here, and then you can hear it, all the differences. You can even turn them off if you are not satisfied with the tone, and if not, then you can just leave them just like that. So this is how you can use the buses. So let's go to the next part, which is there was a bass in the song in the beginning, which was very subtle but yet very strong. So I have used Nimble Synth Bass from Alchemy. You can use this timbre of this plugin, that is thick timbre of this plugin, and it will sound something like this. It is very subtle yet it makes a huge difference in the song. And with that, I have added a G minor chord on Analog Waves. This is one of the synth pads that you can find, and I have added just 3 notes, that is G, D, G, and then A sharp. So this starts from G2 and ends at A sharp 3. So accordingly, if you input these things, you can get the same sound. I will also tell you the note that I have put in Nimble Synth Bass. So the note is G, and then the analog waves sound like this. The sound keeps going on. This is a sustained sound which goes on in the song, and then with all of these things, the beginning of the song, it sounds like this. Yeah, let's move to the next part, that is the chords that come in between. So here the chords start. So I have used again the same analog waves, and these are the chords, that is G minor, then F, and then D sharp major. Let me tell you the notes, the specific notes, so that you can input them as it is. So the first note is G3, second note of the chord is A sharp 3, and the third one is D4. The second chord F major, FAC, that is F3, A3, and C4, and the last chord, which is D sharp major. So G2, D3, G3, and A sharp 3. So it will sound like this. The metronome of the song is 128. So again, you can listen to the metronome of the song. Let me play it for you. Yeah. So the rhythm in this section is like this, that they are coming on the first part. The first note is a half note. So a half note is basically a note which comes 2 times in a bar. So the G minor chord is in half note. Then the next note is a dotted note. Dotted notes are basically the notes which have half value more of the same note. For example, if a whole note has a dot on it, or if it is a dotted whole note, so the value of whole note is 4. So basically half of the value will be added of the same. So it will make it as 6. So here this one is a quarter, dotted quarter note. So the value of quarter note is 1. So we will add half of the value to this note, so it will become 1.5. So it will occupy 3 and 4. And the next chord which comes is on the and of 4. So it will be somewhat like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? So this is the way the chords are going here. I've layered classic brass pad with this one, the same chords, as you can see here. I've just removed one of the notes from the last chord, that is D sharp, and this one sounds like this, and together both of these they sound like this. And there is some air kind of sound which is used as a transition. So there was this sound of airfield. I think you can find it from the synthesizers. I think it is under the arrangement section. You will find it, and I have bounced it and reversed it to obtain this sound. So let me explain you how to reverse a sound in Logic. So basically, if you have a MIDI section or an audio, if it is an audio, you just have to double click, then go on file, and then go to functions and just click on reverse, and the file will be reversed. If it is a MIDI file, you can just go to that particular file and click on bounce in place and it will bounce. So this airfield, it sounds like this with these pads. Yeah. Then after this we have the bass which comes. So again, nimble synth bass which comes afterwards after this thing. So let me explain you how the bass goes. So just listen to it once and then I'll explain you the beat. So again, the first note is a half note, the second note is again a dotted quarter note, and the third note is same rhythm that the pads had. Just one change is here, which is after the note which comes on the end of 4, we have added one more note, that is C1, just after the third note on the half of the bar, which makes these sound like this. I've layered this with Liverpool bass just to give it depth so that it sounds better. See, sounds way better. And then afterwards there is introduction of claps. So the clap, the arrangement of clap is very basic. That is, it comes as quarter notes. That is 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. The tricky thing is here in the snare. In the first part, that is from 22 to 23, it has quarter notes, but in the next part it changes a little bit. So there is a combination of 16th notes and 8 notes, of course. So let me show you how. So the first note is coming on 1 and the next note is coming on A. So 1 E and A, and the next note is coming on the end of 2, and the same pattern is being followed in the next one, that is 3E and A, 4 and. So it goes like 1E and a 2 and 3E and a 4 and. So if I speed up the process, so it's like on the 25th bar, half of it is filled with 8 notes and other half is filled with 16 notes. So as you can see, so it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a, this way. And then from 26 to 27, again this one is quarter notes. So if you listen to this section all together from here, also I've done some automation. If you don't know how to do automation, let me tell you. You can just press A on your keyboard if you're using Logic. The automation window will open and then you can double click on anything. For example, if I want to automate clap, right? So I will double click here, but then I'll double click again and then I'll double click again, because I don't want the level to drop at 0, because the changes which you do to automation are very dynamic, right? You have to make sure that you do it very carefully, because a single thing can just change the whole track of yours. So usually what I do is, for example, if I want something to come fading in, as I did in the snare. So this volume of snare is minus 3.8 dBs. So I lowered it to 16.9, minus 16.9 dBs. And then from there, I have automated it to slowly come to minus 3.8 dBs to create that fading in effect. So if I want to do the same with the claps, I can just show you an example by doing it with the claps. So I'll double click here, and double click here. And I'll just click on the middle point and drag it down, so it will give this effect. So eventually the clap will come in. So this is how you can automate, and as soon as you are done, make sure that you close the automation window by A. We'll discuss more about automation and other stuff with the videos that I'll be posting. uh, Let me explain you the sound process of the clap and the snare which is left. So here's the clap from the simple drum kit. I've just added a compressor because it was sounding very soft, and in the snare also I have added one compressor just for the texture, nothing else. So this is how you can program this part of the song. The next part will be the chorus part, or the part of the drop, which we will discuss in the part 2 of this video. So if you like it, please subscribe so that you can stay tuned. So thank you if you were able to watch the whole video, and wait for the next part to come. Thanks for supporting. Uh, if you want to help me, you can share this video with your friends who you think needs to see this video, and all the best for producing this part. See you in the next video. Thank you.